The Puritan colonists saw the natives as godless savages. The governor of Plymouth Rock, William Bradford, was quoted saying this: "The Indians were savage people who were cruel, barbarous, and most treacherous." So the Puritan colonists made it clear among themselves that since the natives wouldn't convert to Christianity and give up their customs, they had to be removed. They also believed in what they called manifest destiny, which meant to them, at least, that their expansion was not only justified and inevitable, but that it was also their God-given destiny, no matter how many people had to die for it. May 12, 1623, just a few years after the natives showed the colonists how to live off the land, the Pamunkey peace talks took place in Virginia. The English lured about 250 natives to what they called a peace conference. They then poisoned the natives' wine, killing about 200 of them. Around 50 were said to still be left alive after the poisoning, so they then physically attacked and murdered them. May 26, 1637, English colonists led by Commander John Mason killed 700 Pequot Indians, which would later become known as the Mystic Massacre. The colonists launched this attack at night while the Pequots were sleeping in their homes. The village had a wall or fort-like structure around it to protect from outsiders, for good reason, knowing that the Europeans had been known for taking the people captives. So the colonists trapped the Pequot men, women, and children and burned the villages and people inside of it to the ground. The few that managed to escape were then brutally beaten and murdered. After these attacks, they would go back to their villages and have feasts to give thanks for being able to kill these large groups of natives. This became the tradition, and they repeated this Thanksgiving feast every time they would slaughter Native American groups or tribes. It wasn't until Abraham Lincoln became president that he decided to make it an annual feast instead of a weekly or sometimes daily murderous celebration. This is the true, bloody story of how Thanksgiving came about, which led to the genocide of the true owners of this land. And this is one of the perfect examples as to why the Bible says this. Amos 5:21, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. The Most High God despises these pagan holidays that all have evil origins, and we should not support or take part in any of them.